Ron Rivera here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, Ron, you got your team's feet wet your beak a little bit in the playoffs last year. How will that experience, do you think, fuel what could be for the Washington football team in 2021?
Well, I think it bodes well for us. But Rich, my concern coming into training camp was, it was our maturity level as a team. We're a very young football team. The one thing I didn't want our guys think is that we've arrived. Just because we played well down the stretch, just because we got in the playoffs, it doesn't mean, that we're automatically in again. We're going to have to earn it, and that's the thing they have to understand. So, I don't want our guys approaching this season and go, we've arrived. No, we haven't. We haven't arrived. We're still working. We're still learning. We're still growing. That's what I want. That's what I'm concerned about.
Is that something Fitzpatrick can lead the charge on as a guy who's been there, done that, gotten so many opportunities, and it just seems like this one could be his most golden yet, Ron, to be honest.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And that's why having a veteran guy like that on the team is so important, because he can speak to those things. He can point those things out. He can get people to understand, hey, you have to earn it every day. It's just not I'm showing up and things are good to go.
How does he lead on that front? What can you give me an example of watching him do just that?
Well, what I really appreciate is as we practice, the way he practices, the way he does things. We had a great example. Emmy Brown was running a route, and Fitz threw the ball just to his side, and Emmy had to stretch out to make the catch. And when Miami came to the sideline, Fitzy went up to him and said, "Hey, listen now, on this certain type of situation, I'm going to throw away from your leverage. So just understand, if your leverage is on this side, I'm going to throw you over here to get you away from it. That way you can catch it in stride." So a little bit, few plays later in practice, Miami went out, ran the same route, did the same move, and sure enough, Fitzy led him perfectly, and he caught the ball in full stride, and what would have been probably a 5 or 6 yard game turned into a 15-yard explosive play. And he comes to the sideline, and you could see the smile on the kid's face. And all Fitzy did was look at him and give him a thumbs up, and you could tell that the kid's going, "Man, that's cool." I mean, that to me, that's leadership, and that's what you're hoping that you get from your veteran guys.
I just think you know how much of a journeyman he has been, and that's a phrase that is definitely infused with a negativity, because that means a team decides not to keep, or a team thinks somebody else can do better. Or a team like last year decides to replace with a young quarterback, right? But you've been around quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls, and you've been around quarterbacks that have taken a team of yours to the Super Bowl. Do you think Ryan Fitzpatrick has that ability, Ron Rivera, to do that for you?
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick can most certainly lead us. And will he get us to the Super Bowl? Well, that's what we're about to find out. But I do know this. He's got the right kind of makeup. He knows how to manage a game. He knows how to direct an offensive charge. He knows how to get a team energized, and that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for a guy to come in and dominate and completely take over a game all by himself. We're looking for a guy that can manage our football team, manage a game, and when he has to make a play, he's there to make a play or two for us. That's what I believe he can do for us.
And how will the offense look different? I mean, this guy, as we also know, as opposed to last year when you had, a raw quarterback out there in Dwayne Haskins, and then a veteran in Alex Smith who was coming back from a catastrophic injury. We all know that Ryan Fitzpatrick sometimes sees windows that he shouldn't throw into and just screw it, right? And he's got that risking mentality here. And then you got some burners. How different will this offense look this year as opposed to last and then previous ones of yours, Ron?
Well, I think this offense has a chance to be just as dynamic as I've been associated with because of that, because of that speed. It's one of the things that we went out and wanted to do on purpose. We went out with a thought process and the idea of getting faster. That's why we drafted Emmy Brown. That's why we signed Curtis Samuel. That's why we brought in William Jackson to play corner for us. We wanted to get faster across the board as a football team.
And a couple more minutes left with you, Ron. Chase Young, how's he better? How's he already better?
Oh, man, I tell you, you've watched him really work on certain aspects of his games that he probably took for granted when he was in college. But now, because of the pros that he's facing, he has to be so much better. And so now you see him. He's worked on certain aspects of his game that weren't as sharp as they were or needed to be last year. So now you watch him, and he does some things that are different. His counters are different. His timing is different coming off the ball. His explosive ability is there, and he's been working on that, and that's something that I think can really help him grow as he goes forward.
Okay. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.